Thanks for being here, guys. We really appreciate it. So in a recent New York Times op-ed, you guys wrote, quote, "The House and the Senate are dominated by career politicians, buoyed by re-election rates that routinely exceed 90%, who seem more concerned with clinging to power than serving the public." How will term limits change that, do you think?
Well, one, I mean, people support term limits. We're a divided country on so many things. I've never seen an issue. Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, black, white, rich, they support term limits. Why? Because we do need new blood in Congress. And people say, well, the election's the term limit. The incumbents hardwire this in with the party nominations, campaign finance, congressional franking. It is not an even playing field. And so doing congressional term limits forces turnover. And I think it will draw a great class of people to want to serve.
How will you force your former colleagues to willingly give up power? Because obviously this would have to become something that goes through the House and the Senate.
Congress has to pass it, but we got to start with the state legislatures. They get Title V amendments and force a convention, possibly at the state legislature. But by 34 states, if they sign up, we have 12 already, then they're going to have a constitutional convention, limited to term limits only. 50 states will determine what they want to do. That's out of control of Congress. Then, after it's ratified by 38 states, it would become law. But that'll never happen. Never, never, because Congress will step in to save their own skin and grandfather themselves in and pick a number. They'll pick a number. We might not agree what the number might be. It doesn't matter. Congress will control that.
So one of the best arguments I've heard against term limits is that it will end up empowering the unelected, meaning lobbyists and staffers. What's your response to that?
Could they be any more empowered, Jake? I mean, think about it. We have a massive bureaucracy. Some people like it. I don't. That is exercising massive amount. It's a fourth branch of government. Congress has given away its power over the years. Congress doesn't do appropriations like they're supposed to. They do massive omnibus bills. Who's writing those omnibus bills? Is that a deliberative process? No, that's congressional staff that's doing it. So I think they're already very powerful. I don't see how the balance could be tipped anymore. What I think may happen, or I think will happen, you have new blood, there'll be reformers, and it's not going to be good enough to say, well, this is how we've always done it. How you're doing it has not worked for this country.
I think that's really well said, but I think we should add that Jake Abramoff, the old mega lobbyist with the prison 4 years, 2008, his comment was, I don't like term limits. No lobbyists like term limits because then we have to repurchase new legislators. It's a bad day.
So what about the argument that you are taking away choice from the voters? Because, you know, let's just say there are some people who actually think they have good representation in Congress. I assume that your constituents when you were a member of the House and your constituents when you were a member of the House. What about that? Like, some of these people are good at their jobs and they want them.
So there are definitely going to be examples where people are doing great and they're going to be term limited out. But that's going to be outweighed by the good that's going to come from liberating people from the entrenched political class that has caused so much problems. And so no one's ever said it's 100% panacea, but I think we'll be much better off if we have term limits. And interestingly, the founders thought about doing term limits, and they decided not to. Part of it's like, why would people want to be in Congress for third? They just didn't think it would be your horse and buggy. I think the founders today would say that would be a good positive reform.
By CNN's count, with a little less than 1 year until the midterms of 2026, 37 House members, including 22 Republicans, 15 Democrats, plan to leave Congress. That's more than usual. Another argument from them might be, we don't need to change the Constitution. There's already turnover.
Turnover is just so negligible. And as you said, with 95% re-election rate and everyone staying 30, 40 years, I saw a comment the other day that said, you know, Congress is less popular than traffic jams. I mean, that's a bad day. I mean, nothing is getting done in this toxic atmosphere. We've got to say new ideas. That's what's got to rule.
And I think what happens is seniority plays such a big role. So it's true, there'll be people that only serve two because they get frustrated because there's no upward mobility. I mean, I remember when I was in, like, every Democrat ranking member, I think, was probably in their 70s. A lot of the Republicans were there. So you literally have to say you're going to do 20, 25, 30 years to actually be in a position where you're going to be able to exercise, you know, significant influence over the legislative process. A lot of people get burnt out from that. They're like, I don't want to do that. So the turnover, I think, is pushing out some idealistic people who are running into the congressional meat grinder.
Yeah. But Governor hit the best standpoint there. It's in eliminating the seniority system, have a system based on merit and good ideas. and a sense of urgency that we've got to get something done, serve, and go home.
The founding fathers did not put in term limits for the president either, but they were added after FDR. President Trump faces those term limits. He is not going to be able to run for re-election in 2028. Are you thinking of maybe running?
I'm not thinking about anything because I think we have a president now who's not even been in for a year. We've got a lot that we've got to accomplish. I'm obviously working hard to keep Blades on the board in Florida, but look at the election results 2 weeks ago for Republicans. That was not good. You know, we've got to do a good job as Republicans, and I think that should be the number one priority. And the way you do well in the midterm elections is to produce positive results. And so I would focus on that. This jockeying and all that, I don't think is productive for us. Get things done for people. You know, we showed in Florida, when I came in, we were a purple state. You know, now we're considered a red state because we produce results and people follow it.